Today on Dead with Dave, we're going to show you better ways to make videos that don't suck. We got 2 cool props from MadCity Haunt, and we're going to answer some questions from the Dead with Dave Facebook group. Hello and welcome to the Dead with Dave show, a show that talks about all things Halloween and horror related. And for today's show, we're going to start with a new segment: how to make videos that don't suck. I have been asked quite a few times about what camera I use, what microphone I have, what video editing software I feel is best, and even how I make my intros. You know, basic questions on video production and video editing. And I love seeing questions like this. It means people are interested in making good quality videos and want to improve on their own video production skills, which is a huge plus for everybody. The better your videos are, the more people want to watch those videos, which means more people who see your hard-ass work. I mean, come on. Most of us build all year long for our haunts that are only seen maybe one or a couple nights at the end of the year. But making great video of our haunts extends that time it could be seen. When I first started out making videos, I knew absolutely nothing. I just had a camera where the only function I knew how to use was the little record button. And then even after learning a little bit about making better videos, my videos still sucked. When I recorded the very first Dead with Dave show, I basically just came down here, I turned the lights really low, I lit a couple of candles, you know, to make that creepy and eerie look. I had the camera placed way back like 15 feet, and I didn't have an external mic like I do now, so it sounded like I was talking into a tin can. And as for the actual show content, I basically just winged it. No forethought, no planning. I just sat down in front of the camera and rambled on about shit that, in the end, sounded like I had no idea what the hell I was talking about. Pretty much like it is today. But if you go back to the very first episode of Dead with Dave, you can see and hear how much different the whole show was. If you're like me and you're on YouTube, you're constantly typing in stuff to search for, you know, Halloween props, animatronics, motorized props, anything that has to do with props, Halloween. You can search that just endlessly. One day I was on one of those aimless YouTube searches, and I came across a prop called the Cauldron Creep. I admit, it was pretty shitty, but it was a starting point for me. From there, I wanted to make my videos the best as I could for you guys. I wanted you guys to enjoy what I had to show you. So I started reading books, searching YouTube for ways to make my videos better. I learned what others used and how they put things together. And I continue to do that now. I think I watch just as many YouTube videos on video production as I do on haunt and prop making. So let's get to the main topic. Enough of this bullshitting about me. Let's talk about cameras. You can't make a cool video without a camera, right? I started out with just one camera, but now I have 3 cameras. My main camera is the Sony HDR CX500. I got this camera like 4 years ago, and I love it. It has all the features I need and has great low-light recording capabilities, which is a biggie for a home haunter because most of our recordings are in the dark. My second camera is my new Sony Nex5R mirrorless camera. I just got this camera about 6 months ago, and this is my photography workhorse. It takes absolutely beautiful pictures as well as awesome video, and it couldn't be any easier to use. Especially since I've only really used point-and-shoot cameras or cell phone cameras until now. But this camera can take pictures and video almost as good as a full DSLR camera, but is so much smaller and a lot easier to use. My third camera is my old Samsung cell phone. Yes, you don't need an expensive camera to get going with making good videos. I use this camera all the time, and right now it's being used as my side cam on the show. I sit off to the side and it just takes a side angle of me. It's not that great, but it works just as I need it to with no hassles. Plus, it's small enough to keep out of the shot from my main camera. Now, if I had to pick just one camera, it would be my camcorder. And the main reason is my camcorder will record continuously until either my battery runs out or there's no more room on my internal hard drive. All DSLRs and mirrorless cameras, like the Sony Nex series, have at most a half-hour record time. And most of the time, it's really only like 10, 12, or 15 minutes. Not good enough when you stutter a lot in front of the camera. And the main reason is my camcorder record continuously. Record continuously. That's so fucking hard to say. Also, most camcorders are going to have a much better autofocus and steady shot capability, which is a huge plus for all you with that shaky cam syndrome. Now, we're not going to go into sound right now, but a camcorder will also have a better microphone setup, and you won't get that camera noise you hear whenever you adjust the zoom that you can get on a lot of DSLRs. So if you want my advice for a beginner just getting into making videos, I say start with the cell phone camera, because everybody has one already. Then after you've made some videos and you're really getting into it, go do some more. Go pick yourself up a camcorder. Play with that for a bit. And then when you're ready to add some more and get a little bit more advanced, go get yourself a DSLR or a mirrorless camera. Now, it's hard for me to recommend a specific camera for you to go out and buy. I can only speak on the cameras I have. And those cameras are already outdated with new models in place of the old ones. Isn't that just how it always is? You spend all that money on the latest and greatest, only to have the better model come out next week. Just fucking sucks. But here are a few that have great reviews on the options you would need as a haunter. For camcorders, on a low budget, I would go with the Sony HDR CX230. For a mid-range cam, maybe go with the Canon Vixa HF M500. And if you got some money lying around, the Sony HDR CX430V is awesome. And it might be my next camcorder. Maybe. We'll see. Gotta round up some money. For DSLRs, I would go with the Canon T3i or the Nikon D3200 series. Both are great cameras that are user-friendly and won't completely break your bank. For a mirrorless camera, I love the Sony Nex 5R, but they already have a new model out. It's called the 5T now. But I don't think there's much difference between the two. I also heard good things about the Samsung NX2000 mirrorless camera. So I love mirrorless cameras. Definitely go check them out if you want to go that route. They're not... I'm not telling you they're any cheaper than a full DSLR, but they are a lot easier to use. But like I said, I haven't used any of these, and I'm going by what the reviews say from other people. So do some research and find the camera that's right for you and your budget. Well, that's it on cameras for today. We'll talk about more in future episodes, but I hope this has helped you out if you're going out and trying to find a new camera or you want to start making some good quality videos. Next time, we're going to talk about sound and different mics you can use to really make those tutorials top notch. Or maybe you're making a video podcast like the Dev with Dave show. If you have any questions on cameras, sound, or anything that has to do with video production, please leave it in the comments down below. I got two cool props I want to show you today. They come from the YouTube channel MadCity Haunt, and the owner, Paul, is an extremely new haunter amongst us. He only just got into Halloween this past season, and these props I'm going to show you now are the first endeavor into the homemade prop making world. His haunt, which is located in Madison, Wisconsin, was basically just store-bought props that were tweaked a little bit here and there. But right after Halloween was over, he took to the internet to see what else he could do for his newfound love for Halloween. But what he found was way more than he ever thought. And he sent an email to me, and I'm going to quote this for him. "Holy crap, who are these awesome Halloween people? I never knew there was such an amazing and extensive Halloween and haunter community online, and I have been addicted to exploring it ever since." Yes, my friend, our Halloween community is filled with some of the most talented and ingenuitive minds out there. And that addiction to finding more and more info on everything Halloween and heart related, that's called being bit by the Halloween bug. Welcome to the group. Okay, so the first prop I want to show you is of his werewolf. made from a cheap Christmas reindeer, pink foam, and some really awesome dry lock and paper mache work. The idea to build this amazing prop was sparked when Haunt Nation magazine did a Hack a Christmas prop contest, where you take a Christmas decoration and turn it into a killer Halloween prop. It's always fun to take something that's supposed to be pretty and heartwarming and turning it into something
vicious and blood-curdling. Oh, I just love Halloween.
Anyway, so Paul thought this was a great way to get started in building his own props, and this contest really pushed him to do his best that he could do. Oh, and by the way, Paul's werewolf, it won that contest. Total time to complete this build was about 3 weeks, with some breaks here and there. And it only cost about $50 to $70, plus, the extra parts you find lying around the house. But you're definitely going to want to check this whole video out. In the video, he has a great tutorial on how he built the entire werewolf from start to finish, with some really great pictures and a lot of time-lapse work. Loads and loads of great ideas, and I guarantee you're going to learn something new if you watch it. Paul, what an awesome prop this is. And if this is what you come out of the gate with on your first try, I can't wait to see what else you come up with. My first prop was a mask on some old wooden sticks. So you basically already got me beat. The other prop of Paul's I want to show you is a really cool flesh eater tank. It's a pretty simple concept, but what an impact it can make. And I gotta be totally honest with you, when I first watched the video, I was like, did this guy really put these big ass live bugs inside of a tank for Halloween? I really didn't realize that they were fake, but holy shit, that's a very realistic effect. Paul had built this tank for his mad scientist lab, and he tried putting as much detail as he could into it because people will be up close and personal when they see it. The bugs are actually hex bugs, little robotic bugs that you can usually get at any toy store. These bugs can move around objects and each other just like real bugs, but without the worry of having nasty real bugs crawling around. The total cost was about $30 and only took about a week or so to build. If you want to see more of what Paul is doing for this up-and-coming Halloween build season, go over to his YouTube channel, MadCity Haunt, and check out all the videos. Link, as always, is in the description. Definitely somebody you're going to want to follow, so make sure when you're over there, click the subscribe button. And Paul, thanks again for showing us your kick-ass props, and I really can't wait to see what else you come up with in the near future. So the other day, I put a post on my Dead with Dave Facebook group that if you had any questions at all for me, I'll answer it. Any questions, serious or funny, Halloween related or not, you ask and I shall answer. So here we go. Question 1. How are babies made? Yeah, it looks like this is going to go good. When I read this, I just figured this was Bob, just being a dick again. But then I thought maybe he doesn't really know. Maybe he never had the talk, so to speak. So to help explain this to you, Bob, I found a clip from a movie that will basically sum it all up for you.
And then Mommy kissed Daddy, and the angel told the stork, and the stork flew down from heaven and left a diamond under a leaf in the cabbage patch, and the diamond turned into a baby.
Our parents are having a baby, too. They had sex.
Question 2. Do you think that haunting as a passion and a serious hobby is growing? Or is it the recent boom in the haunt world on Facebook that makes it seem so? Maybe both. Or do they just go hand in hand? Your thoughts, please. Of course, haunting as a passion is growing. It's becoming way more acceptable to the average person. And thanks to the Spirit Halloweens and Halloween cities out there, and even the Party cities, which are selling a lot more props, it just goes to show that more people are decorating for Halloween. And, of course, I don't consider a Halloween decorator a haunter, but the more people that do get started in decorating might get bit by the Halloween bug and then take their decorations to a haunt level. And the surge on Facebook that we're all seeing, and even YouTube, is because we all finally have a place to get together. I mean, a place to talk about our haunts, to talk about our projects and ideas. That's, and Facebook is easily accessible from not only our computers, but more importantly, from our mobile devices. And as more people and more haunters realize that there is this awesome Halloween and haunt community, the more Facebook and YouTube is just going to grow and grow and get bigger. Facebook is a great place that we can talk about haunting to people that actually want to talk about haunting. It's hard to talk about a haunt with an average person. We think of Halloween completely different than they do. We see it as a creative outlet. They see it as the day their kids get dressed up and go trick-or-treating. I mean, how many times has your friends or family members, said to you, okay, no Halloween talk for today, or you're thinking about Halloween already? It's just frustrating as fuck to have such a passion for something, but be made to feel like we're weird or strange for having that passion. It's like, if you love sports and you want to talk about sports, all you have to do is turn to the guy next to you and just start talking about sports. Most likely he'll be into sports too, and if he's not into sports, he'll understand why you like sports and why you want to talk about it. But you can't do that with Halloween. I mean, just imagine next time you're out, you turn to somebody next to you and you say, you know what I was thinking? Maybe we should focus just on the cemetery this year. Make some crypts, maybe a mausoleum. Really make the cemetery just over the top.
What the fuck are you talking about?
What?
Halloween isn't for 8 months.
I know, exactly. We don't have enough time.
Are you out of your friggin' mind?
But if I say that same sentence here on YouTube or on my Dead with Dave Facebook group, each and every one of you will know exactly what I'm talking about. And most likely you're all going to have an opinion on that subject and want to talk with me about it. That's why Facebook is blowing up with new haunters. It's a place to feel like you're not alone when it comes to Halloween. Our weird obsession is accepted here. I don't know if that's answered your question, but kind of just went off to another separate thing, but you get my point. Next question. You have put out some great plans for props. Is there another mech in the works? And if so, can we get a teaser? Yes, I am working on a new set of plans. Right now, I'm in the pre-planning stage, which basically means I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to build. No, actually, I'm pretty sure it's going to be the Fat Guy Puker mechanism. But right now, I really have to focus on the Dead with Dave Home Hunters Awards. And then once that's all done, I will focus on prop building. And, of course, all the plans that go along with them. But most likely, it's going to be the Fat Guy Puker mech. Last question. What cons or shows are you or the Dead with Dave crew planning on attending this year? I'm sorry to say, but probably none. There's just no way I'd be able to swing the travel expenses. It sucks. I know. I really want to go to Transworld, but I just can't do it. I do have a good reason, though, which dulls the pain of not being able to hang out with so many of my kick-ass fellow haunters. But Crazy Cart Lady and I are getting married this October, and I need to save all my money for the wedding. Yes, we are finally getting married after being engaged for almost 6 years. I am super excited, and I'm really looking forward to finally tying the knot with my crazy other half. Crazy Cart Lady might be a little off the wall, but I do love her with all of my heart, and marrying her is just a very long time dream come true for me. So it's well worth it. So yes, no cons this year, but next year I promise I am definitely going to Transworld. I don't care if I have to sell my soul to the devil. I'm going to Transworld next year in 2015. I don't care what happens. So that's it. That's all the questions I have for today. If you have a question like this, feel free to ask me at any time. Leave in the comments down below. Message me on Facebook. Email me. Whatever you want to do. Whatever questions you have, ask away. My life's an open book. I'll answer anything. It doesn't really matter. So, well, that's it for this episode of Dead with Dave. I hope you've all enjoyed. Make sure you go check out the website, pandemichauntproduction.com, where you can find more Halloween and haunt-related things. You can see my home haunt, Pandemic Cemetery. You can check out all the contestants for the Dead with Dave Home Haunters Awards there. You can see some products I sell, some how-to videos, and you can check out my Pandemic Members Only section, where you can have unlimited downloads of all my downloadable products for only $30 a year. Go check it out. Link in the description. I want to thank you all for watching. I want to thank you all for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, please click the subscribe button down below and show your love. Make sure you click the subscribe button over at MadCity Haunt's channel also. He definitely deserves it. Till next time, this has been Dead with Dave. Good night.